You know, our world is totally shaped by faith, by belief systems that go back thousands and thousands of years. But have you ever stopped to wonder which of the major religions we know today actually came first? Well, that's the big question we're going to dig into. We're about to go on a little journey through time to find the answer. So, yeah, what was the world's very first religion? It's a huge question, right? It sends us hurtling back to the very dawn of human civilization, to our earliest searches for meaning. To figure it out, we're going to explore the history and the core beliefs of some of the most influential faiths on the planet. So, to get to the bottom of this, we're going to look at three of the biggest faiths out there: Islam, Christianity, and Hinduism. By stacking up their timelines and checking out their origins, we can start to piece together which one really holds the title of the oldest living faith. Okay, so first up on our journey is the most recent of these three. We're heading back to the deserts of 7th century Arabia to see exactly how Islam began. The story of Islam really kicks off with one person, the Prophet Muhammad, in the city of Mecca. Muslims believe that he was meditating in a cave when the angel Gabriel appeared and delivered the first of God's final revelations. These messages were all compiled into their holy book, the Quran, and that became the foundation of the entire faith. And what's really interesting is the word Islam itself. It actually gives you a huge clue into the heart of the religion. It means submission, specifically submitting yourself to the will of God, or Allah. It's all about finding true peace by aligning your life with that divine guidance. For a Muslim, daily life is kind of built around these 5 core duties, the 5 pillars. There's the declaration of faith, praying 5 times a day, fasting during the month of Ramadan, giving to charity, and, if you're able, making that pilgrimage to Mecca at least once in your lifetime. And from those beginnings in the desert, wow, Islam has exploded into the world's second largest religion. Today, you've got about 2 billion people, that's roughly a quarter of everyone on Earth, who identify as Muslim. It has a truly global reach. All right, let's rewind the clock even more. Our next stop takes us back about 2,000 years to the Roman province of Judea. This is where Christianity got its start. So Christianity all centers around one absolutely pivotal figure, Jesus Christ. His life, his teachings, his death, and his resurrection, that's the whole story. He was born in what's now Israel, and his message of love and redemption just spread like wildfire through the Roman Empire and eventually the entire world. At the heart of it all is the belief that Jesus is the Son of God. His teachings, which you'll find in the Bible, are all about compassion and service. I mean, think about the story of the Good Samaritan. He taught that loving your neighbor meant loving everyone, no matter who they were. That was a revolutionary idea back then. And talk about influence? With something like 2.4 billion followers, Christianity is currently the largest religion in the world. It makes up nearly a third of the entire global population, shaping cultures and societies on pretty much every continent. Okay, for our final stop, we're going way back. I mean, way, way back. We're heading to the Indian subcontinent to explore a faith called Sanatana Dharma, which translates to the eternal way, what we know today as Hinduism. Now, this is what makes Hinduism so different from the other two we've looked at. There's no single human founder, no one prophet who received a divine message. Instead, this is a faith that grew organically over thousands of years. It's like a vast library of spiritual wisdom collected by countless sages. I mean, we're talking ancient. Its roots go all the way back to the Indus Valley and Vedic civilizations. In fact, its oldest sacred text, the Rig Veda, is thought to have been composed as early as 2000 BCE. That means its foundational ideas are at least 4,000 years old. That's just mind-boggling. And at its core, you've got these incredible concepts that have shaped millions of lives. Karma, the idea that every action has a consequence. Dharma, which is all about your duty and your purpose. Reincarnation, the soul's journey of rebirth. And moksha, the ultimate goal, to be liberated from that cycle. And today, Hinduism is the world's third largest religion with over 1.2 billion people following this path. And while you can find Hindus all over the world, the vast majority still live in the Indian subcontinent, right where the faith first began. Okay, so we've traveled through thousands of years of history. We've looked at 3 massive world religions. I think we're finally ready to answer that big question we started with. So let's just lay it all out, nice and simple. You have Islam, which began in the 7th century CE with the Prophet Muhammad. You have Christianity, which started about 2,000 years ago with Jesus Christ. But Hinduism's roots, they go back thousands of years before either of them, with texts dating all the way to 2000 BCE. The picture is pretty clear. So there you have it. Based on all the historical and scriptural evidence, Hinduism, or Sanatana Dharma, is the world's oldest living major religion. It's got a continuous tradition that stretches back at least 4,000 years. But, just knowing which one is the oldest, that's kind of just a trivia fact, right? There's something deeper here. The way Hinduism developed tells us something really profound about our human search for meaning. It reminds me of that saying that religion should be a bridge, not a wall. It suggests that even though the histories and the practices are different, the goal isn't division. It's about connection and understanding. And really, when you peel back the layers, you see that all these different paths are kind of pointing in a similar direction. Islam's call for submission to find peace, Christianity's message of love, Hinduism's path to liberation, they're all trying to give us tools to navigate life and become better people. And that kind of leaves us with one last big question to chew on, doesn't it? Beyond the history and the rituals, maybe the true purpose of any faith isn't about being the oldest or the biggest or the right one. Maybe it's just about connecting us, not only to something divine, but to the humanity inside each other.